Listen, your financial advisor just told you to drop 35 grand on a brand new crossover because, quote, it's safer. Your kids won't stop texting you links to SUVs with 17 airbags and parking cameras that beep like a hospital room. And that salesman at the dealership, he looked at your current ride and practically offered you condolences. But here's what nobody's telling you. There are 6 SUVs you can buy right now for under $10,000 that'll outlast most of the plastic, fantastic crossovers rolling off the lot today. I'm talking proven workhorses with reliability that makes mechanics nod in approval, prices that don't require a second mortgage, and features that actually matter. After combing through reliability data and talking to independent mechanics who've seen these vehicles at 150,000 miles, I've found the sweet spot. The models that hit the market right before manufacturers started cutting corners. Old enough to be affordable, but young enough to have modern safety features. Let's start at number 6 and work our way to the absolute best deal on 4 wheels. Number 6, the 2011 to 2012 Ford Escape. Now I know what you're thinking. Ford, the same company that had all those transmission problems, hear me out. Here's the thing nobody talks about. The 2011 and 2012 Escapes represent the final years of the second generation, which means Ford had spent a decade ironing out all the bugs. The 4-cylinder engine is bulletproof. The V6 has plenty of power, and the 6-speed automatic transmission in these years is light years better than the 5-speed that came before it. The real story is the chassis. Ford kept the same basic platform from 2001 through 2012, which means mechanics know these things inside and out. Parts are dirt cheap. You can find a repair shop on literally any corner. The ride height is perfect. You don't need a ladder to climb in. The doors open wide. Visibility is fantastic because the windows are actually big, not these tiny slits you get on new cars. And the rear cargo area? You can fit a week's worth of groceries or 4 sets of golf clubs without playing Tetris. Now let's talk about what actually goes wrong. The power steering can have issues in cold weather. Some owners report a grinding noise on cold starts. The air conditioning condenser sits right behind the front bumper, which means road debris can damage it. But none of these are engine or transmission killers. They're annoying fixes, not catastrophic failures. The fuel economy is respectable. Mid-20s combined if you get the 4-cylinder. And if you live somewhere with snow, the all-wheel drive system is genuinely capable. Not fake crossover all-wheel drive. Real mechanical all-wheel drive that'll get you through a blizzard. Think of it like this. The Escape is the reliable friend who always shows up. Not flashy, doesn't win beauty contests, but 15 years later, they're still answering your calls at 2 a.m. Buyer note. Look for the 2011 or 2012 model specifically. Avoid the 2013 and 2014 because Ford did a full redesign, and those early years had serious engine problems. Make sure the power steering recall was done. Check for rust on the subframe if you're in the Salt Belt. But if you think that's a solid deal, wait until you see number 5, the 2012 to 2013 Honda Pilot. Now we're getting into the big leagues, literally. This is a 3-row SUV that seats 8 people, and you can still find clean examples under 10 grand. Here's what mechanics won't tell you unless you ask. The Pilot shares its platform and engine with the Honda Odyssey minivan, which is consistently rated as one of the most reliable vehicles Honda has ever made. Same 3.5-liter V6, same 5-speed automatic, same engineering team. That V6 makes 250 horsepower, which means merging onto the highway isn't a prayer session. It'll tow up to 4,500 pounds. And the 5-speed automatic transmission in these years is legendary for going 200,000 miles without major issues. The cabin is massive. The second row actually fits adults. The third row is tight but works for kids. And when you fold everything down, you've got 87 cubic feet of cargo space. That's more than most pickup trucks. The Pilot rides like a car, not a truck. The suspension is comfortable. It handles better than it has any right to at this size. And unlike some vehicles that feel like you're captaining a yacht, the Pilot is actually easy to park. Now, nobody's perfect. The VTC actuator can develop a grinding noise on cold starts. It's not dangerous, just annoying. Some of these burn a bit of oil after 100,000 miles. The power door locks can act up. But compare that to the competition. The Chevy Traverse from the same era has transmission problems that cost $6,000 to fix. The Ford Explorer had timing chain issues. The Toyota Highlander? Good luck finding one under 10,000 bucks. Here's the analogy. If the Escape is your reliable friend, the Pilot is your reliable friend who also happens to own a truck and helps you move furniture without complaining. Buyer note. This is for families or anyone who regularly hauls more than 4 people. If it's just you and maybe one passenger most of the time, the Pilot might be more vehicle than you need. Check the service records because these need transmission fluid changes every 30,000 miles. Look underneath for rust, especially on the rear subframe. But if you want something smaller, more fuel efficient, and maybe even a little fun to drive, number 4 is calling your name. Number 4, the 2013 to 2014 Mazda CX-5. This is where we separate the folks who just want transportation from the folks who still remember when driving was actually enjoyable. The CX-5 was Mazda's first vehicle to feature their full Skyactiv technology. The 2.5-liter engine makes 184 horsepower and gets 32 miles per gallon on the highway. Let me say that again. 32 mpg in an all-wheel drive SUV, that's better than a lot of sedans. But here's what really sets the CX-5 apart. It drives like a Mazda. The steering actually has feel. The handling is sharp. When you go around a corner, it doesn't lean like a drunk sailor. And the transmission shifts when you want it to shift. The interior looks like it costs twice what you paid. The materials are quality. The seats are comfortable on long drives. And the cargo space is generous without the vehicle being massive. It's the Goldilocks of SUVs. Now let's address the elephant in the room. The 2.0-liter engine in the 2013 base models is underpowered. Spring for the 2.5-liter. Some early CX-5s had issues with the liftgate struts corroding. There's a recall for that. And a handful of owners reported excessive oil consumption, though it's nowhere near as common as with competitors. The genius of the CX-5 is that Mazda sweated the details. The turning radius is tight, so parking is easy. The driving position is comfortable for people of all heights. The visibility is excellent. Think of it like this. If most SUVs are microwaves, reliable, and boring, the CX-5 is a toaster oven that also makes perfect toast. It does the job but adds a little joy to the process. Buyer note. The CX-5 is perfect for 1 or 2 people who want something practical but refuse to drive something soulless. If you need the third row or haul stuff regularly, look elsewhere. The 2013 has the base 2-liter engine. The 2014 came standard with the better 2.5. Check for the liftgate recall. But if reliability is your absolute number 1 priority and you want the peace of mind that comes from buying a brand that's famous for vehicles that refuse to die, number 3 is about to make you very happy. Number 3, the 2010 to 2012 Toyota RAV4. Finally, the name everyone's been waiting for, Toyota. The company that builds vehicles so reliable they're boring. Except here's the twist. The 3rd generation RAV4 is reliable and actually kind of interesting. These years represent the end of an era. You could still get a V6 engine. The styling was rugged and practical. And Toyota had been building this platform since 2006, which means by 2010 they'd worked out every single bug. The base 4-cylinder makes 179 horsepower and returns excellent fuel economy. But if you can find a V6, that 269 horsepower engine is an absolute gem. The 4-speed automatic might seem old school, but it's bulletproof. The RAV4's party trick is ground clearance. It sits higher than most crossovers, which means you can actually drive on unpaved roads. The all-wheel drive system is real, not some fake electronic system. and the cargo capacity is excellent. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The 2009 and 2010 models had issues with unintended acceleration, and while Toyota fixed it, those years still make people nervous. Some owners report suspension issues around 100,000 miles, and the ride can feel a bit truck-like compared to more modern crossovers. But here's what you need to understand. When a RAV4 from this era breaks, it's usually something minor. Wheel bearings, brake pads, the engines don't blow up, the transmissions don't grenade. The thing just keeps going. The analogy here is simple. The RAV4 is that pair of boots you bought 20 years ago that's still waterproof, not stylish, kind of boring, but on a rainy day, you grab them without thinking because you know they work. And here's something most people miss. The RAV4 has the best resale value on this list, which means when you're ready to sell it in 5 years, you'll get more of your money back than with almost anything else. Buyer note. Avoid the 2009 model if possible due to the acceleration issues. The 2010 to 2012 are significantly better. Make sure any recalls were completed. Look for rust underneath, especially if you're in a snow state. The V6 is wonderful if you can find it, but the 4-cylinder is no slouch. But if you want the best of both worlds, legendary Honda reliability with perfect proportions for a senior driver. Number 2 is the vehicle mechanics secretly recommend to their own parents. Number 2, the 2012 to 2013 Honda CR-V. This is it. The vehicle that defines what a compact SUV should be. Not too big, not too small, not exciting, not boring. Just right for almost everyone. Here's what makes the 4th generation CR-V special. By 2012, Honda had been building CR-Vs for 15 years. They knew exactly what worked. The 2.4-liter engine is the sweet spot. Enough power at 185 horsepower, but efficient enough to return 26 mpg combined. The magic is in the details. The rear seats slide and recline. The cargo floor is low. The doors open wide and the step-in height is perfect. The dashboard controls are simple and intuitive. And the ride quality is comfortable without being floaty. The visibility is phenomenal. Big windows all around, thin roof pillars. You can actually see what's next to you when you change lanes. The turning radius makes it easy to park. And the interior is spacious enough for 4 adults to take a road trip without getting cranky. Now let's talk problems. The VTC actuator can make a grinding noise on cold starts. It's a known issue, not dangerous, but annoying and expensive to fix at about $2,500. Some of these consume oil after high mileage. The AC compressor can fail, but here's the key. These are all annoyances, not deal breakers. The CR-V doesn't leave you stranded. It doesn't explode its transmission. It doesn't need a new engine at 90,000 miles. Think of the CR-V like a Timex watch. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Everyone's grandma has one with 200,000 miles. Your neighbor's kid learned to drive in one. The value proposition is insane. You get Honda reliability, which is second only to Toyota. You get the perfect size for daily driving. You get excellent visibility and ease of use, and you get all of this for under $10,000. Buyer note, the 2012 and 2013 are nearly identical, so pick whichever has lower miles and better maintenance records. Listen for the VTC rattle on cold start, but don't let it kill the deal if everything else checks out. Look for rust on the subframe and confirm the brake shift interlock recall was completed. But if you want the absolute pinnacle, the one vehicle on this list that combines bulletproof reliability, easy entry and exit, practical features, and respect from every mechanic in America, number 1 is the obvious choice. Number 1, still the Honda CR-V. And yes, it takes both spots because after analyzing dozens of SUVs, reading thousands of owner reports, and consulting with mechanics, the 4th generation Honda CR-V is so good, it stands alone. It's not just that it's reliable. It's reliable in all the ways that matter for daily life. The engine starts every morning, the heater works, the air conditioning doesn't quit in July, the transmission shifts smoothly for years. Every repair shop knows how to work on it. Parts show up the next day, and insurance is cheap. This is the vehicle you buy when you're done impressing people and you just want something that works. When you want to spend your money on grandkids and travel instead of surprise repair bills. The fourth generation CR-V represents peak Honda engineering. Before they started cost cutting. Before CVTs, this is when Honda still built vehicles that felt solid and lasted forever. Compare it to the competition. The RAV4 is great but harder to find under 10 grand. The Escape is good but not as reliable long term. The CX-5 is fun but parts cost more. The Pilot is huge but drinks more gas. The CR-V just works. And in a world of vehicles that need software updates and have 50 different warning lights, sometimes just works is exactly what you need. Here's the real genius. 5 years from now, when you're ready to sell it, you'll get a shocking amount of your money back because everyone wants a used CR-V, which means your total cost of ownership will be lower than almost anything else on this list. Let me bring this all together. The lesson isn't that new cars are bad. The lesson is that the best values are found in vehicles that have depreciated past the steep part of the curve, but haven't reached the expensive repair phase yet. The sweet spot is roughly 10 to 12 years old with under 150,000 miles. Every single one of these vehicles has owners with 300,000 miles on them. Multiple owners. People who bought these used drove them for 10 years and they're still going. So the next time someone tells you that you need a brand new SUV with automatic parking and a subscription service for heated seats, smile and nod. Then go find yourself a 2012 CR-V with 120,000 miles for $8,000. Drive it for 5 years, sell it for $6,000, and spend that money on something fun instead of car payments. If this video helped you see through the new car marketing, hit that like button. And here's my question for you. What year and model SUV are you driving right now? And if you could go back and buy any vehicle from the last 15 years, what would it be? Drop your answer in the comments. The smart money isn't always on the newest thing. Sometimes the smart money is on the thing that's already proven itself for a decade. Drive safe out there.